Open up the champagne, pop. It's my house, come on, turn it up. Hear a knock on the door and the night begins. Cause we've done this before, so you come on in. Make yourself at my home, tell me where you been. Pour yourself something cold, baby, cheers to this.
Alright fellas, welcome to another Press Pass Live. I think I'm going to be able to keep this up tonight. Usually it's not a problem for me. I'm getting old, but I'm not that old. But usually the podcast is playing this really terrible music unless people call in, but it's not doing that tonight. Maybe it's because I have myself muted, so we're going to go ahead and keep the live feed up, but I'm also going to have this remote play, and we're going to have it going and see how kind of things go here. So I'm excited. Glad that you have joined us tonight, and it's going to be a good show. We're going to jump right in, take a look at the off season, how things have went so far, and then also take a look at how week 1 and 2 is already playing out. It's not going to be a ton to talk about, so not going to have a whole bunch to keep people up to date with, so to speak, but there are some things to talk about. So let's hop right in there. I'm going to do the remote play tonight instead of doing the Daddy League page, but let me pull that up really quick and show you. You need to go to the Daddy League page. You need to check it. Oh, look, it's being laggy here. Pull up the Daddy League page. All right, daddyleagues.com/GFML. Check it out. There's a lot of really good blog posts that are up there. There's a lot of good information. If you're new to online franchises and what this is all about, Daddy League is kind of the hub. It's the online version of the franchise. And so you can go here and you see all the games that are being played tonight right now. And the Dallas is playing, Kansas City, the Saints. I think the Bengals game is about to start. Another game is going to be starting here in the next hour or so. Lots of games already done. Lots of games being played. Looks like another early advance is on the way. Check it out. We're going to have the old Press Pass Live up here right now, but the new one will be up tonight. Check out some articles. Of course, I try to do one every single week for my team, win, lose, or draw. And then, of course, I have some articles that go up from the website updates and also the game of the week and the different things that we have that pop up there. So you also want to check out the website. So go to Gamers, that's the forum, so don't go there. You can go there, you should go there, but gamersoc.weebly.com and check out the website. It's got a new look right now, and keep that up to date at every single advance. If you don't know what Gamers is, let me explain what Gamers is really quick. Gamers is an online community that we have created, and we are interested in hosting several different leagues. When we first started this back in August, we had a Madden League, we had a NBA 2K League, we had a FIFA team, we had an NHL team, and we also at one time had a WWE League. We are going to start advertising for a WWE League that I am a part of right now called the OCW. And this is kind of a little snapshot of them. So we're going to start advertising them and advertising what they have doing. And so if you play WWE 2K, you should join their league. But this is kind of our website for all the different leagues. If you have a league, or if you have a team, and you're interested in hosting it here, connect with me. We'll supply the forums. We'll supply the website. We'll do the advertising for you. And we'll do the recruiting. And all you got to do is run it by the same rules that we kind of follow with grown folks here. So it has been a tumultuous up and down, 2-3 months here. We've lost some really good guys. We've added some really good guys. We've done a franchise restart. We simmed the first season. We got through an entire off season. We had a really good draft. Of course, there was a lot of drama, and I will talk about that right now. I was going to go ahead and wait till the end of the night, but I'm going to talk about it right now. I was really sick. I am still really sick. I have tonsillitis all single week, and actually been running 102 fever that Saturday night before the draft, and had somewhere that I had to go, and it just took a little longer. You know, life happens. We're all grown-ups, at least most of us, and we have families and responsibilities, and I and the board was under the impression that only the owner of the franchise could actually start the draft. Come to find out, that's not true. If I'd have known that, we would have started the draft on time, but we didn't know that, and so we were trying to get me back as fast as I could. And I seen owners were really upset, and I get it, but saying things like I should have started the draft before I took care of myself, and I just thought that was really selfish. And I'm glad that those guys have removed themselves, and we're just going to move right along here, doing our thing and having a good time. So at the end of the night, we had a really good draft. I was not able to do a draft show just because I was sick, couldn't talk, and so a draft show was out of the question. But I promise you guys, we will squeeze in 2 more seasons. We will have one more draft before the new mag comes out, and I will do one of our draft shows and do a complete breakdown as we get through the entire draft. So let's look at what week 1 offered is here. Lots of teams are here. We are one owner short right now for being a full league. We actually had to remove one of our owners because he didn't show up. He didn't play any games. So if you're not going to show up, you're not going to participate, not going to be making forum posts and doing those kinds of things, then you're not going to last here. So we did lose one owner, trying to find somebody right now, and hopefully we'll get back to a full league. So let's take a really quick look at week 1. The Ravens get beat by the Cowboys. This actually ended up being a simulated game because the Ravens owner was the owner that got booted. And now tonight, Smash was nice enough to give up the Vikings to the Lions owner, who's a Vikings fan. Imagine that. He took the Ravens, and so the Lions are now open, and I'm going to try to fill them as soon as I can. The Redskins and the Bengals went at it, and the Redskins come away with a 10-6 victory in a great game. A lot of really good games in week 1, and even here in week 2, we've had a lot of good games that have went, and they've been close, and they've just been epic Madden battles, and that's what you want to see. Some rivalries beginning to be formed. There's some small gameplay issues that we got to clean up, especially new guys got to remember that 80-20 rule, and we got to remember we got to mix up these runs, mix up these passes, have a good balance. Let's let this be about strategy and not because you know all the money plays and you're going to hit all the money plays at the right time. Let's let this be about strategy and really try to outcoach each other. Next, the 49ers beat up on Tampa Bay 21-17 as Motor got one of my new favorite owners with a lot of really great posts, and he's getting his team put together there, and it's good to see San Francisco winning again. The Packers fall to the Vikings 38-14, and again, that was Smash, and he did just that to the Packers, and he beats up on the Priest 38-14. The Patriots fall at home to the Dolphins. That had to be a terrible win for Stellartone, as Money Mac comes away with the game of the week victory 24-21, and it's good to see the Dolphins back in their winning ways. My Titans beat the Jaguars as Brady and I take our NFC South rival and we bring it over to the AFC South. New teams, new division, but the same old 2 guys who know each other and play really good games. I enjoy playing Brady. If you listen to these, and I enjoy our games. They're a lot of fun, and I know that week 1, year 1, when we first started this franchise, we had a rough night that night, but after that, it's been golden, and I enjoy playing you. So I come away with a 24-21 victory with a last-second touchdown. You need to read that article. It was a really great game. Had another great epic game this week. The New York Giants get the sim victory against the Philadelphia Eagles. These 2 guys just could not make their schedules match, and it was a straight sim, and so be it, and so happens here in Madden. The Texans beat up on the Colts as Play DLC comes away with a victory against Too Slick. Player DLC, I got to play him this week. I played Too Sick this week. This was 2 really good teams. That Indianapolis team may be 0-2 right now. That is a very good team and an unstoppable running back. If he gives that guy the ball 20 times a game, he's going to have 150, 200 yards every single time. Atlanta falls to Kansas City 20-23 as Beast Ball falls to the new guy. This was not such a super clean game, but we're going to clean that up. We're going to fix that up. Some minor things. The Falcons are a very good team. I played them in the preseason. They absolutely hammered me. It's going to be fun to see that team as they progress. The Panthers and Moneyboy come away with a 44-31 victory over Bows. This was another really good game. The Panthers are super strong. They're talented across the board, and the Raiders will hang in there with you. They got some firepower of their own. Chaotic, hurting my heart. Giving my Saints, my co-commish, my buddy, my pal. And what does he do? He falls to bruising you 31-14 on the road. Seattle is another really strong team. But I love the way the Saints play. I love the way Chaotic plays. And I think that he's going to be just fine once he gets his team all figured out. Next, the Buffalo Bills and Benner? I don't know. However you say these names. He beats up on Massimo, the Cardinals, 24-21. A 3-point victory there at home. The Cardinals are going to be another really fun team. That team is loaded on defense in every aspect and every position. Next, you got the Rams beating up on the Jets as Alasky turns things around over there in St. Louis, and he beats up on Trent 17-7, and the Rams are another impressive team. I think that that's going to be another team that just has talent, has all playmakers in all kinds of different positions. They're going to be a fun team to watch. Cleveland comes away with a 1-point victory as Everts breaks up on the champion Doug. Doug, what happened, man? You were the champion coming off of your championship game. I know you don't have that team built just to your specifications just yet, but it's going to happen. Cleveland comes away with a 21-20 victory and a really nice victory early in the season. This game was not a CPU game. This game was actually played, and Detroit comes away with a 17-6 victory over Purdue. And then finally, the Broncos hang a 50-burger on San Diego as UT Longhorn beats We the Best 52-30. And this is a game that we're going to take a really quick look at, and then we're going to go back and look at the game of the week. This game was all about offense. Not a lot of rushing yards, but a ton of passing yards. You can see here the Chargers actually took the lead on first downs, 21-0. Offensive passing yards, 479-215. Offensive rushing yards, 85-76. Kick return yards was actually for the Broncos, but total yards gained 710-463. It seemed like no one wanted to play any defense. This game all was about the third quarter. It looks like that's when this number right here showed its ugly head. The Broncos take a 21-0 lead in the third quarter as they get 4 turnovers from the Chargers and convert those things into points. Third down conversions were almost tied. Chargers get 5. The Broncos get 4. Red zone touchdowns. The Broncos come away with 5. The Chargers struggled into that area. They had to settle for field goals. They turned the ball over. And if you do that, you're just not going to win the game. Take a quick look at Lynch, who had a really good game. 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was 12 of 17 for 40%. 13.1 yards per play, and Paxton Lynch outplays Phillip Rivers. Not a lot of rushing yards to speak of. Anderson outrushes Jordan, but I did like what Bryce Jordan did. A quarterback that can make some plays, move around back there, but Melvin Gordon, you got to get the ball more than 11 times a game. If you want to make plays with the San Diego Chargers, Melvin Gordon, he's got to be leading the charge. Gillen Gayton, he is going absolutely off in his rookie season. He had 10 catches this game, 268 yards, 26.8, per catch, 2 touchdowns, 178 yards receiving after the catch. Not really going to look at blocking. Let's look at some defense, though. Darian Stewart, Denzel Perry, my ex-Saint middle linebacker that I had there. TJ Ward, all these guys getting a lot of tackles, making a lot of plays. Ray McDonald coming in from free agency and making plays for Denver with 2 tackles for loss. Not a ton of sacks, but Swanson, the rookie, does come away. Defensive tackle with 2 sacks. Barrett comes away with a sack. Wolf comes away with a sack. And then Ingram from the Chargers comes away with a sack. Let's look and see who all got interceptions. Barrett seems to be the guy who is making plays. Not only does he have a sack, he's going to have 2 solo tackles, 3 assists for 5. He's going to have an interception. Adai gets an interception for the Chargers. Stewart gets an interception for the Broncos, and so does Ward. And it just was about those interceptions not turning not turning possessions into touchdowns, settling for field goals, whereas the Broncos was able to get those touchdowns in the red zone. Let's take a quick look at my game of the week last week, which was the Dolphins and the Patriots. This one was tough to call, and I thought it was going to be a close game because it was two teams that were a little bit of an unknown. Of course, Stellar Tone taking over his Patriots late last franchise, and really started to get the ball going with his favorite team. And then the new guy over here with the Dolphins, you didn't know really what to expect from them. Offensive rushing yards are going to go to Miami, 93 to 68. Passing yards, 239 to 199 for the Dolphins. First downs went to the Patriots, 14 to 10. And turnovers is going to go to the Dolphins as they get 2 to the Patriots, 1. Third down conversions are going to go over to the Dolphins with 7 to 6. And time of possession actually went to the Patriots, 21 to 29. This game again comes down to turnovers. And what are you doing with those turnovers? Now, the offensive red zone percentage was actually better for the Patriots as they got the touchdown, and the Dolphins had to settle for 2 field goals. But it all came down to them making those few little single plays. The Patriots drew it in late with the touchdown and 2-point conversion, but the Dolphins, do get the 3-point win. Tannehill with a very strong day. It's a little hard to do all this at once when you're on medicine, but he goes 13 for 23, only 56%, but he does get the touchdown, does throw an interception. Ryan Fitzpatrick, shocking me at least, 59%, 2 touchdowns with an interception. Even the rookie came in for a few plays. He went 4 for 5, but he does throw an interception on the 1 incompletion. The rushing, Deion Lewis comes 14 for 56. Damian Williams, 4 for 55. Ajayi, 13 for 22. And Tannehill, 3 for 16. So you want to see better rushing numbers. Really, in the league as a whole, rushing is down so far. Guys are really pass happy. They're wanting to test out these rookie quarterbacks and these young receivers that are running all around the field. You want to see these numbers go up a little bit more for these rushing games. Rob Gronkowski does what Rob Gronkowski does. 8 receptions for 82 yards, a 10.3 average with 1 touchdown. Jordan Cameron doing his best Gronkowski impersonation. 7 receptions for 103 yards. No touchdowns, though. Walker Landry, the rookie, comes away with 3 receptions, 123 yards. He did have 65 yards receiving after the catch with the 1 touchdown. Deion Lewis, 2 for 23. And then everybody else, just a couple of catches for a little bit of yards there. Edelman throws in 3 for 32. But it was really about the tight ends, which I don't want to see a whole lot of. It's okay for week 1 or 2, but start finding those receivers a little bit more and seeing what they can do. So that's a quick look. I'm going to just mute some guys here just so we don't have anybody talking on top of me. Looking at some defense, Rashad Jones showing that he is one of the best safeties in the league. The guy is just going to make plays. He gets 10 tackles, 1 tackle. One tackle for a loss, and just was all over the field, making plays and causing havoc for the Patriots offense. Kiko Alonso comes away with 8 tackles. Mark Barron, the newly acquired linebacker who used to be a safety, now he's playing middle linebacker. He took in 7 tackles and a tackle for loss. Jamie Collins doing his part for the Patriots with 2 tackles for loss. Cameron Wake with 2 sacks. Cyrus Jones with a sack. Sherrod with a sack. And then, I keep hitting the wrong button, guys. And then a couple of interceptions here. Figures that I'm trying to do a show and things are popping up and doing all kinds of craziness. But Mark Barron comes away with an interception. Logan Ryan comes away with an interception. And this dude right here, whose name I'm not even going to try to say, comes away with an interception. So Mark Barron looks to be your surprise for week one, a free agent, a trade, I should say, making an impact. He moves him over to middle linebacker, gets 7 tackles, tackle for a loss, gets an interception, makes some impact plays there. Let's take a look at week two. So far, we got the Browns and the Giants. That game is done. The Giants come away with a 34-24 victory. The Redskins fall to the Ravens 27-24. That was a CPU game. And thanks for Smush for playing that on the up and up and playing the CPU and taking a loss like a man. The Vikings beat the Bears 17-13. The Colts fall to my Titans 35-31 in another epic close game with a last-second touchdown for Mariota. Seattle beats up on San Francisco 20-10. Buffalo falls to Miami 38-28. San Diego beats Atlanta 35-31. And Houston beats Jacksonville 31-24 with a lot of other games already being played. You see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 more games. So after here in a little bit, we're going to have 3, 4 games left, and I know one game is going to be played at 9 o'clock. So you guys are burning through it. You're doing it, and I appreciate it. Thanks for all of the effort. We really want to try to get in 2 whole seasons here, and the only way we're going to do that is if we get through them as quick as possible and get some games played and some early advances so that we can quickly get to an off season and get through that off season. Let's take a look and see if there's any latest moves. Of course, these teams right here just swapped teams, so there's going to be some moves there. The Chargers look like they bring in Roy Halou on a 1-year contract. They also released Kevin Booth. The Bills are going to re-sign Shaq Lawson. The Giants are doing some re-signing there, bringing back Kerry Wynn, Paul Perkins, Darren Thomas. All these guys signing 2, 3-year deals. Shows 4-year deals, but that's because it counts the current year that we're in. Eli Apple gets a new deal. Janoris Jenkins gets a new. Giants are spending some money here. Also, the Browns spending some money bringing back Hardy for a 1-year deal, releasing Andrew Sam. Lots of moves, lots of good movement. Let's take a quick look at some stats before we call it here a night. And we'll take a look at some offensive leaders. So we're going to look at your quarterbacks. We're going to look at your halfbacks. And we're going to look at your receivers. So right now, Brian Hoyer is leading in quarterback rating, but too bad because he's only got a couple of throws. So we're going to look at passing yards here, and we're going to let that kind of show us who is who. The Chargers with Bryce Jordan, it looks like they may have turned the page here, and they're going with Bryce Jordan, 652 yards, 109.6 rating, 7 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Marcus Mariota, 610. Eli Manning with 600. Tyrod Taylor with 566. That guy's actually making a lot of good plays for Buffalo. It's going to be interesting to see how he plays that out. And then Andrew Luck is an absolute beast, 554 yards, 108 rating, and he is just leading the way for the Colts. That team is better than their 0-2 record is showing. Bryce Jordan with 7 touchdowns is leading the Grown Folks Madden League. Eli Manning, Taylor, Mariota, Tannehill, Wilson, all these guys with 4 touchdowns. And then we got to look at your interception leaders. Morgan Carpenter is struggling. The rookie for the Chicago Bears has already thrown 6 picks and no touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers off to a really slow start this season. 4 interceptions, no touchdowns. Cousins, 4 interceptions, no touchdowns. And then you get to the good guys with Jordan with 7 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. The offensive lines that are struggling right now, Joe Flacco keeps finding himself on the ground. Through 2 games, he's already on the ground 9 times for the Ravens. The Chargers, Bryce Jordan, you're making plays, but you got to stay on off the ground and stay injury-free. So the Chargers are going to have to figure that out. He's already been sacked 7 times. Morgan Carpenter, this guy has got it the worst so far. He's not only thrown the most interceptions, that's probably from the pressure that he's getting, but he's also been on the ground 6 different times. And then finally, Russell Wilson and Andrew Luck. They've also found themselves on the ground 6 different times. For Andrew, they all came in week 1 because I didn't get him on the ground 1 time. Here's your rushing leaders. Lamar Miller, I never would have guessed that. The ex-Miami Dolphins running back over in Houston, making plays 286 yards. Adrian Peterson being very Adrian Peterson-like, 214 yards. Chris Ivory, 198. Murray for the Raiders, 146 yards. And then Felton, 145 as the rookie is making plays. And then Tyrod Taylor, 132 yards. We've already talked to that owner. Got to clean that up a little bit. I don't want to see a quarterback in the top 10 of rushing leaders. But the guy is making plays, and he's showing why he is a true weapon for the Buffalo Bills. Let's look at touchdown leaders. Adrian Peterson with 3. Devontae Freeman with 2. Keith Marshall with 2. Lamar Miller with 2. Jamal Charles with 2. And then a whole bunch of people with 1. And then last, let's look at some receiving leaders. And this is going to be all about Dylan Gayton. He is absolutely going off for the Chargers. 19 receptions. He almost has double what everyone else has. 430 yards, a 22.6 average on the year. Odell Beckham, what I would do to have Odell Beckham on my team, that would be awesome. 13 receptions for 177 yards, 88.5 on the year. Julio Jones, 12 for 250. Jordan Cameron, 11 for 164. Justin Hunter, 11 for 200. That one kind of shocks me because he's not even my best receiver, but my best receiver got hurt. And then finally, DeAndre Hopkins, 11 for 177. These guys are making plays, but watch these crazy stats for Dylan Gayton. 7 touchdowns already for the young man. I think this guy's not only going for Rookie of the Year, but he's going for MVP and Player of the Year. Julio Jones has 3, and then a bunch of people with Walker Landry are tied with 2 on the year. So that's a look at week 2 as we kind of progress here and get more weeks under our belt. We're going to be able to have more stuff to talk about. So thank you guys for all that you're doing. And looks like I got a little media question here I got to answer. And make sure you get those games in. Participate in the incentive plan. If you don't know what the incentive plan is, then you need to go over to the website. Come over here to the incentive plan right here. Click that, and it's going to bring you over to our incentive plan. Here are the gold, silver, bronze expectations. If you hit these expectations, you win these little incentives here, which come with a neat little Photoshop item, some confidence resets, and some extra players that you can trade away. We try not to give away a lot of players that you can move during the off season or during the season, but you can earn a whole lot more that you can move. And if you want to do that, participate in the incentive plan and make sure you give us some blogs. I would love for somebody to take over what Dogs had with the betting thread every single week. We have somebody that's going to do a power rankings here very soon. And just a lot of really good things are coming. And I want you guys to participate. Thanks for my 2 friends who called in tonight. Aaron the Rams. My buddy's throwing out some really great stuff. He's playing the Packers right now. So that is diehard, sold out all the way. Listen to the Press Pass Live. And then Anthony, thanks for calling in from Hawaii. You got your team tonight? No. Did you? I don't remember. I get everybody confused. He used to be the Ravens owner. That I do know. I think he's the Patriots. I don't know. I don't know who you are now. I'm confused. Too many new guys to keep up with. But look, it's been another great 2 weeks. I appreciate everybody, especially the board, Bill and Chaotic, working their butts off to help me with the offseason and the draft. Thank you for you guys who have my back. I was sick. I apologize. But thanks for being patient with me. I promise that we try our very best not to let that kind of stuff happen. And I thank guys for being understanding. For those of you jerks who didn't want to be understanding and didn't want to be patient with me, then you know what? you'll get yours when your time is due. And I appreciate the rest of those that hung in there with us and stuck it out. I'm looking to finish strong here. We have a really good and important season here, and I can't wait to see how this thing's going to play out. So, for Nate, for Chaotic, the co-commish, for the board, and for all of the leadership here at Grown Folks, we appreciate you guys for tuning in with us tonight. If you're interested in hosting your league here, hit me up. If you have WWE 2K and you want to check out a really super cool league that has all of the bells and whistles, then you need to hit me up because I'm going to get you connected. Until next week, next Thursday, 7:30 Central, I'll post all the links. I'll shoot it out. Come listen in. We will see you next week. Good luck with your games. Get them in. Let's get through this season. Peace out, my friends.
Show me what you do now. We don't have to go wild. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. It's my house.